So, Mr. Ariman, what is efficiency? Efficiency. So we'll spend some time to understand what is efficiency. We'll start with very basic questions regarding efficiency. We'll take examples from common life and try to understand what is efficiency. So, Mr. Ariman, there are two kinds of students. This is student A, this is student B. Student A and student B. Now, both of them have been taught for, let us assume, 10 hours. Mr. Ariman, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, this student A scores 80% and this student B scores 50%. So, efficiency of which student is better?
Student A.
I'm sorry?
Student A.
Student A. Why is he better?
Because he understood more than student B. He understood 80%.
See, one part is that he has understood more. But then there is another very critical thing which is there. Understood more is one part, but then there is a very there is another very critical aspect of the situation. And that critical aspect is that both have been taught for 10 hours. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that for the same input, the output is different. Are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So efficiency is actually a very powerful concept. It is taught in physics, but in common life also, it is a very powerful concept. And how it becomes very powerful, slowly you will understand. So let us say that there are two people, A, B, both of them are given rupees 10. Yeah, and they are told to do some business. Using this rupees 10 only, this person A is able to generate 20 rupees. This person B is able to generate 40 rupees. So who is more efficient?
B, as both of them are given rupees 10, but B was able to make that 10 rupees into 40, while A could only make it to 20.
For same input, output is different. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that we can take three people. The input would remain the same, but the output would vary. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
The output can vary. So efficiency is defined as whatever you input. So the input comes in the numerator. And what is the output? Can you please note this?
Yes, sir.
So let us take an example. Just start noting it. I'll take a simple example. Just take a very simple example. So let us assume that we take the example of this business only. That rupees 100 was given each to ABC. A actually ended up with rupees 50. B ended up with 150. And C ended up with rupees 200. Now you will understand that if you want to calculate the efficiency of A, of B, of C, then A efficiency would be, what is the output? It is 50. What is the input? Input is the same. For B, what is the output? 150.
150.
What is the input? 100.
100.
What is the output for C? It is 200.
200.
What is the input for C? It is 100. And usually this efficiency would be multiplied by 100. So that the efficiency that you get is in percentage. Mr. Araman, any doubt till here?
No doubt, sir.
So even if you forget the formula of efficiency, basically there is no need of remembering any formula. Just by basic common knowledge, you can understand that there are three people. I have given 100 rupees to each. One person ended up with 50 rupees, the other person ended up with 150 rupees, the third person ended up with 200 rupees. You can have an extreme example where this person C actually spent whole of the money and generated zero income. And then the difference will become very obvious. Now, if I want to find the efficiency in percentage, the efficiency of this percent is 0. Efficiency of this percent is 150%. Efficiency of this person is 50%. Mr. Araman, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
So basically in efficiency, for the same input, how much output is being generated, that is what is captured in efficiency. Araman, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Now the interesting thing which becomes is efficiency is equal to input upon output. I'm sorry.
Output upon input.
Yeah. Output upon input into 100. Now, why I consider this to be a very powerful factor is, and which can help us a lot in our common life also. See, there is a person who has efficiency, he has low efficiency. Have you understood the problem? Araman, have you understood the problem? Mr. Araman, am I audible?
Sir, my internet connection was unstable. It showed me that.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
So let us assume, see, why do I consider this to be a very powerful tool, which you can use in your common life also, is that if I am a kind of person whose efficiency is low, let me consider like this. I am a person with low efficiency, but I want to increase my output. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you can understand, it is good. Otherwise, you can skip it. If I am a person with a low efficiency, but still I want more output, then I need to increase my input. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So in common life, as a student, how you can use this? There is a student A. So in 2 hours of study, he is able to get 100 number. He is able to score 100 marks. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
But there might be a student who is not very intelligent. There might be a student B who is not very intelligent, but he wants to score 100 numbers. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Araman, what he needs to do?
Increase his input. Study for more hours.
That is all that he needs to do. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now let us come to the physics part of efficiency. And now I think you will understand. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the PDF?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I think you will understand by basic logic that this is a kettle. The input is 25 joule. See, another thing that you can note here is that energy, please note it down, energy is measured in joule. The symbol is J. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
And like I've told you before, see, whatever units, if any unit has been named in the name of a scientist. So for example, Mr. Joule was a scientist. So similarly, Mr. Newton was a scientist. So it is written as Newton, and if the symbol is being used, this N is capital, but this N is small. Have you understood the logic?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, Mr. Joule was a scientist. तो आप capital J लिखेंगे, but जब नाम लिखेंगे तो स्मॉल j लिखेंगे if it is being used as a unit. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
इसीलिए यहाँ पर ये गड़बड़ है, ये 250 जूल j कैपिटल होना चाहिए. बात समझ आई?
हाँ सर.
न्यूटन हमेशा कैपिटल में लिखा जाता है, छोटा नहीं लिखा जाता है. जूल हमेशा कैपिटल में लिखा जाता है, छोटा नहीं लिखा जाता. बात समझ आ रही?
Yes, sir.
बट फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपके पास यू हैव सेंटीमीटर, सो c is small. If you have meter, m is small. Have you understood the logic?
Okay. When we write it, do we write capital C centimeter or?
नहीं, never. So for example, Mr. Kelvin was a scientist. तो आप जब यूनिट लिखेंगे तो k लिखेंगे या केल्विन लिखेंगे. Arman, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल फीट आप इंचेस ले लीजिए. सो इंचेस इज ऑलवेज रिटन लाइक IN, where both I and N are small because it is not a name of a scientist. उसमें IN नहीं लिखते कभी. बात समझ आई?
हाँ सर.
So these are good habits to follow. उसमें गड़बड़ मत कीजिए, especially if you want to make a career in science. अगर खेती बाड़ी करनी है, डेयरी का काम करना है, गाय चरानी है, फिर ठीक है, जो करना है करो. But if you want to make a career in science, then these are the small things that you should take care of. Okay. Now I think those things will become very obvious. So for example, if I have a kettle, now the input is 250 joule. The input is 250 joule. 250 joule of energy is being provided, but the output that is being generated is 150 joule. I think on a very feeling level you will be able to understand कि यार कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Efficiency जो है वो low है क्योंकि wastage हो रही है. Arman, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
है ना? We are able to understand कि यार कुछ तो गड़बड़ चल रही है. So now by common sense, what we have understood is कि efficiency जो है that is output upon input into 100. So what is the output? 150. What is the input? 250.
250.
And तो अगर मैं इसको मैं सॉल्व करता हूँ तो ये आ जाता है 60%. Arman, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Now the interesting part is कि ठीक है, ये तो हमारा mathematical part हो गया, that we have understood. But now here comes the interesting part. The interesting part is why there is wastage. Mr. Arman, what do you say?
कोई I don't know, sir.
नहीं, आप assume कर लीजिए ना, आपके घर में उसमें कोई
कौन है ऐसे.
हाँ, तो वो आपकी see, physics is most of the physics that you will study can be observed. So for example, I'm using this ये देख लीजिए kettle. So kettle मैं use कर रहा हूँ. So for example, चलिए मैं basic आपका जो the gas that you use, let us take the very simple example of gas. So for example, ये आपका gas है और रफ फिगर बना देता हूँ यार, एक सेकंड कैसे बनाऊँ. ओके, ये आपकी गैस है और ये आपने ऊपर कंटेनर रखा हुआ है जिसमें देयर इज वाटर व्हिच इज बॉइलिंग. या
Yes, sir.
नाउ लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि इन दिस सेटअप let us take this very simple case. I am providing 250 joule of energy, but the output is 150 joule. So in this setup, Mr. Arman, what is the wastage you see?
Wastage will be 100 joules. That is.
Okay, why there is wastage? Okay, let me rephrase.
It can be that some of the gas is not hitting the container.
Shabash.
Some of it is just warming the container, but it's not passing through.
Shabash.
या फिर गैस कुछ faulty हो सकता है.
Shabash. Very nice. So there are a lot of reasons. So for example, in this setup, the gas instrument is getting heated. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
This container is also getting heated. Plus heat is being lost to the environment. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
And you are absolutely right. Maybe the connections, the piping, etc., is not very okay. Maybe there is some leakage or whatever. Maybe the piping is not good, so heat is being lost. Heat is being lost from the piping also. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, if you have ever observed, I don't know whether you have observed this or not. So in the AC, the AC duct has a, if you have ever seen, has this covering on it. Have you ever seen? Usually, if you go to these shops, etc., you will see the AC ducts have a covering. Ever observed that?
No, sir.
ठीक है, मैं आपको कोई फोटोग्राफ दिखाता हूँ. 1 second, I think I will be able to find a photograph on Google. 1 second. Mr. Arman, can you see this? Can you see this covering on the AC?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen this kind of covering?
No, sir.
So next time you are in shopping complex, etc., usually these are used in split ACs. Split ACs. So this is used to. This is basically insulation. Insulation. This insulation minimizes the energy loss. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So let me take another example. I think 1 second. Mr. Araman, you would have seen these geysers.
Yes, sir.
Now it is pretty obvious that heat is being generated. Heat is being generated. Now that heat would be lost unless and until there is a covering here. Mr. Araman, do we agree?
Yes, sir.
So this covering, if you open this geyser, then this covering is called insulation. Insulation. And this insulation basically prevents heat wastage, or you can call it energy wastage. Sharman, any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
So coming back to efficiency, can you see the PDF now?
Yes.
So the point that I'm trying to make is that when you are dealing with any system, now that can be a student also. For example, a student also. For example, there is a teacher who is teaching a class of say 5 students. There are only 5 students. Now this guy would be distracted more, this less. This guy is very focused. This guy has some problem at home. This guy is having problem at school. So the efficiency of student A, B, C, D, E would be different. Do we agree to this? Mr. Araman, do we agree?
Yes, sir.
And that is why the teacher would be asking question, or she might be, taking a test or whatever. All she is trying to do is increase the efficiency of all the students. Because in every process that you are monitoring, there would always be a wastage. So, for example, there is a toaster. Now, this is the energy that you are giving to the toaster, but the output that you are giving is 120. So, what is the wastage, Mr. Araman?
30 joules.
30 joule. 30 joule is the wastage. And of course, if you want to calculate the efficiency is output upon input into 100. And the output would be 120 and the input would be 150. And you can calculate the efficiency. Any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
And usually one of the best example of efficiency is, if you see the number, you will be surprised that if you take this bulb, the bulb that is being taught here, that is being discussed here, is that filament bulb. Have you ever seen a bulb like this? Usually they are not used very much now.
Yes, sir.
So इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा वेस्टेज होती है. Now, why the wastage is there? What do you want from a bulb? Basically, you want light from a bulb. अभी जो वो लाइट जनरेट करता है वो तो सिर्फ करता है 10 जूल्स. बाकी जो वेस्टेज करता है दैट इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ हीट जनरेट करता है बहुत ज्यादा. तो if you are giving 200 joule of electrical energy, only 10 is converted to light. The rest of 190 joule is heat. Mr. Araman, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So that is why these kind of bulbs have been slowly replaced, and that is why you hardly see these kind of bulbs, the filament bulbs now. So
Yes,
because the this efficiency of this kind of bulb is 55%. So that is why lot of electricity wastage is there. Electricity wastage is there. Sorry, but any doubts?
no doubt, sir.
So this is all about efficiency, another very small topic that we can go through. So just remember to review that it is always output upon input into 100. And this is a symbol that you will find being used for efficiency. I think in your book they might have used this symbol. Okay.